And so if a person is being drug tested, they could come up positive if they're using a whole spectrum or full spectrum CBD product.
Smart Spectrum CBD. What is it? It's episode 3 of Hunt4Wellness. To Hunt4Wellness. This is the show where we talk all things wellness and your journey, which is your hunt for wellness. Of course, it's John and Christy Hunt. Christy, today you hear so much about CBD, but now you come up with this term, Smart Spectrum CBD. I know you didn't come up with the term,
right? But
we're going to learn a little bit about CBD because pretty much you can get CBD anywhere these days, like at the gas station,
right.
Like on the side of the road. But I think there's a lot of misconceptions about CBD, about THC, which is another 3-letter word we'll figure out and talk about today. And just also, we will, at the end of the program, to talk about how if people have more questions, they can always go over to Hunt4Wellness.com and schedule a free what do you call that? Discovery call. It's a short phone call or a Zoom or Skype or whatever you want to do, whatever technology you're comfortable with, where we discuss health goals, because that's what we want to do. We want to work with people in their health goals. So that's at Hunt4, that's the number 4, wellness.com. All right. Where do we start with CBD?
There's a lot to know about CBD.
Well, CBD has been around a long time, but it hasn't been legal everywhere, right?
Right. Well, it comes from the hemp plant.
Okay.
So the hemp plant has THC and CBD in it. So THC is marijuana,
right,
or that psychoactive part of the plant. And then CBD is cannabinoids that are also in the plant. So the plant has been around for thousands of years. The plant is old. Well,
and also didn't, like in the sailing days back in Christopher Columbus and all the, I mean, isn't hemp used to make things like
rope
and
sails,
and
yes.
So it's a really big crop, but then
super useful plant.
And then really just in the last few years, things have been legalized, and that, again, we should probably talk about what Smart Spectrum CBD is, right? Because we're talking about the stuff where you don't get high.
Right. We don't want to get high. No. And when a plant is a plant has to be grown a special way to get the marijuana.
Oh, okay.
To get a marijuana plant, you have to baby that plant. That plant is basically all female plants. There's normally a male plant and a female plant that grow together and they pollinate each other. And so when you're growing marijuana, you remove all the male plants. And so the female plant, like the ovaries of the female plant get too big, overgrown, because they're thinking, oh, maybe I'm too small and it'll get bigger, so I'll get pollinated. It never does. They harvest it, and that's where the THC comes from.
Oh, okay.
So when you normally grow the plant, there is some THC in it, but not very much.
Yeah. Not enough to make a difference, right?
No. Well, but people need to be drug tested for jobs or various things. And so if a person is being drug tested, they could come up positive if they're using a whole spectrum or full spectrum CBD product, because there is some CBD in it.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about there
is some THC in it.
So you talk about full spectrum, smart spectrum. What are the different categories that CBD would fall into? So
full spectrum means there is THC and CBD in it. Then there's CBD isolate, meaning they just remove only the CBD from the plant. That's it. There's only CBD, no THC. So, but when you remove that from the plant, from the product, it's kind of dull. because you're not getting the whole plant. Just like eating a whole food is much better than, one vitamin from the food.
Right, yeah.
So what Young Living has done has added in essential oils into the CBD to kind of make up for the removal of the THC. So it's more of a whole plant product.
Do they have any benefits to of being involved in there? Like, does essential oils help it get into the system faster, or did the CBD will already do that?
It will do that, but you also have the benefits of adding like Roman chamomile and lavender for calming.
Oh yeah,
to
that's
it,
great.
Or in the muscle rub, the peppermint and the wintergreen are also going to help with calming the muscles down and soothing the discomfort in the muscles.
So now, but what about now? Young Living has the seed to seal process. We've talked about that before, which is a very strict standard. I would imagine an industry like CBD, which is super hot right now,
right?
There's probably not a lot of standards set, especially as even down to the farm level, right?
Right. There's not a lot of standards out there, and it's pretty unregulated. So what's interesting about the hemp plant is that hemp cleans the ground. It sucks up toxins in the ground. Sucks up heavy metals. So after Chernobyl, when there was all this toxic, what do you call that?
Yeah, toxic waste or stuff that got into the soils and got into the land.
So one way they cleaned it out was planting the hemp plant. So it cleans the ground, which is great. But if you're ingesting hemp plant that's grown on land with heavy metals and who knows what in it.
Yeah, guess where that ends up.
Yeah, in you.
Yeah.
Which is not good. It'd be better not to use that CBD at all. Be better if you didn't use it.
Right.
So Young Living was actually looking to connect with a CBD company, and they found Nature's Ultra, which is grown in Colorado on very pristine land, very pure, no heavy metals. They test every single batch of CBD. They've tested the ground. And it's really good and high quality.
Right.
So you can trust it. Plus, it's been added to it with essential oils and then no THC. So it's a very, very clean product.
Right. So what are some of the normal familiar things that people do with CBD? Because I know there's a lot of different things that different CBD products do, but what are some of the things that people take CBD for?
So it really supports the immune system and the nervous system. So it's very calming. People love that, and it's calming them down.
Yes. Without the THC.
Exactly.
That calms people down too, but in a different way.
Yeah, not the right way.
Yeah, right.
Not the way that's good for the brain.
Yeah.
But this is good for the brain.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, if you get too much CBD, you can get some anxiety.
Oh.
So that's how you know, that's too much. I need to use a little less.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So you got to use the right amount. Are there different strengths?
Yeah. There's a regular strength and they have an extra strength.
Okay.
So there's a roll-on calm for sleep. And then there is a dropper of of the CBD with essential oils in it, with cinnamon or mint or citrus.
Yep.
And you can just rub that on your skin. And
it gets in your system right away, right? Because that's the way essential oils worked.
Yep. And then there is a muscle rub that has some essential oils in there to help support muscles. And so it's kind of like...
I've used that one.
Yeah.
I really like it. It definitely gives you a lot of relief, doesn't it?
It does. It relaxes the muscles and supports them, kind of like a Cool Azul, kind of like the Cool Azul pain cream.
Well, that's great. So now if people want to find out more about CBD or anything else on your health journey, you can go over to Hunt4Wellness.com and schedule your free introductory session of just on the phone talking about goals. What does that first call kind of look like when you're talking to people? Because it's not very long, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and get to know the person.
Yeah.
And what are their health goals? What's their top health goal that they want to deal with?
Yeah.
And I can help them identify what might be some good resources for them to attack that goal and achieve that goal.
Oh, yes. People like to achieve goals too. That is great. Well, let's what else do you want to talk about CBD? Is that kind of the good intro? Because we'll probably touch on this on other shows too. We wanted to kind of give the broad intro, and especially, I guess, the takeaways here are: know there are huge differences in CBDs. You've got the smart spectrum, which is really what you want, where it takes out all the THC, gets the essential oils get added back in, and it's very supportive. You don't want the broad spectrum because that's going to have THC likely in it, and you don't know what. And isn't there something where, like, if are the manufacturers required to have like a certificate of authenticity, or I don't know what you even call it, some kind of where where it's come from or it's been tested?
Well, they're supposed to, but not everybody does. And even so, when they've been third-party tested, which also this is third-party tested as well, they find out that it doesn't have the CBD in there that it says, or the THC, or they're off. Yeah. They're not what they're labeled.
Okay.
So it's the wild, wild west with CBD right now.
Yes. Yeah. But at least with the Young Living product, it's with a company you can trust.
Yes.
Which is really good. So what kinds of people should be scheduling these introductory calls that might be needing CBD? I know there's also hundreds of other products.
Right. People that want to support their sleep better.
Yes. Okay.
The level of kind of stress.
Yes.
If people are feeling pretty stressed,
that's pretty much about everybody.
You want to reduce that.
Right.
Just want their nervous system supported better. It really brings balance to the nervous system. So there's lots of uses. We can't get too specific.
Right. Can we talk about maybe someone you worked with in the past week or two? Just any new hot stories? It doesn't have to be about CBD or success stories.
Well, I do know one. Actually, there's a CBD we haven't talked about. It's called Beauty. The Beauty CBD.
Is that
Beauty
a newer
Boost.
Product, or is that,
yeah, it is.
Beauty Boost.
Yes.
Will it work on even me?
Yeah, it will. It's got rose in it, which is like the highest frequency essential oil.
Wow.
And so you just rub it on your face. It's an oil. They say use like a half to a drop, full dropper. A full dropper is too much unless your face is huge,
right?
Or your arms and your legs.
Your whole body. Right?
Yeah, it's just, you don't need that much.
Yeah.
But so it goes really far. And I was talking to someone today who said that she put it on. She's a young person, and her acne just went away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
can't guarantee that, right?
No, but
and
that
you don't know what else they were going through, but
that was her response from
it,
and I think she used it once.
Right. We had another friend who tried CBD, and didn't they have get a rash or something? And you don't really know. I mean, oftentimes when stuff like that happens, it could be like your body detoxing, not necessarily reacting to the CBD, right?
Yeah, well, when people get a rash from essential oils, it's usually not allergic to the oils. It's usually the body getting detoxified.
Yeah.
So you would just want to go slow with that, test it in a little area, and keep drinking water, keep eating really healthy.
Would be putting the carrier oil on to help a little bit, or not?
Well,
really
carrier oil does slow down the absorption of an essential oil. So if you put on peppermint on somewhere on your body and it's like, whoa, that's a little too hot, add a carrier oil. It will slow down the absorption and reduce that hot feeling.
Okay, great.
So
anything else we want to cover this week before we wrap up the show?
I don't think so.
Now, your notes down there, looks like you did a really good job of covering that up. So once again, we'll say if you want that free introductory discovery call, and it can be Zoom, it can be a telephone, Skype, whatever you want to do, just go over to hunt4wellness.com, Hunt, the number 4, wellness.com. You'll see right on there how you can get that initial conversation. And let's discuss your health goals, right? People have goals. Everyone has a little bit different journey. One size does not fit all, but part of the thing is just getting on the journey and taking the next step. And that's really what the purpose of that is.
Yep.
Great. Good job today, episode number 3. And we'll see you next time on Hunt for